remote control garden है
Baidu okay, so yes, if you don't mind, would you please turn on your camera? So welcome everyone to
Hello, welcome,
James.
welcome. This is Marcos. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, welcome to James Green's English classroom, and I'm Munmi Sharma, and our today's schedule is this hour will be taught by me, a discussion on a philosophical topic, and then the next hour, that is 16 UTC, we have a board of directors meeting. I'm going to chair the meeting, and I'm planning to open the meeting to participate for our all members after half an hour, that is at 16:30 UTC. For half an hour, the last half an hour will be open for all. So I'm glad to see Marcos, Ahmed, Nargis, Umazi, and Rosa. Nargis, I'm making you co-host. All right.
All right. I'll be busy a little
Okay,
bit
no issues.
of the classes, so
Yes, Ahmed is also here to assist his head. Anyway, so I'm going to talk on a topic. I already have sent the link in Discord. If I don't know if anyone has watched the link, and I'm going to share the link again, or similar related another video. So basically, I'm talking. I want to discuss about utilitarianism. Term, which is a philosophical term actually, but we are not going to discuss any philosophical thing, but just for the topic, we will learn something as well as we can practice our English. And this topic is quite related to our everyday life, and that's how I am thinking of bringing this topic to our class. So my yeah, I forgot to mute YouTube. So I'm gonna share a link video. This is I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong link. Yeah, can you see the video? Just show me your thumb. Can you see, Nargis? Okay.
yeah.
Just let me know if it is
by
audible.
Jeremy Bentham
See the-
and
hear the
developed
sound?
and popularized by John Stuart Mill.
And audible. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so just watch the video first and then tell me what exactly
Utilitarianism.
you understand.
Utilitarianism is an ethical theory founded by Jeremy Bentham and developed and popularized by John Stuart Mill. As the term suggests, Utilitarianism is founded on the principle of utility, which adheres to the belief that an act is good or morally right if it promotes happiness, and bad or immoral if it tends to produce pain. The key, therefore, in utilitarianism is the principle of happiness. Hence again, in utilitarianism, an act is good or morally right if it produces greatest happiness to the greatest number of people, and bad or immoral if it produces more harm or pain than benefits or happiness to the greatest number of people. This explains why the utilitarian would not care whether the action is done out of deception, lie, or manipulation, as long as it produces maximum benefits to many people. For example, the act of condemning a terrorist to death is morally right for the utilitarian, because this action produces equal benefits or greatest happiness to the greatest number of people concerned. Let us take the famous case of Robin Hood as another example. As is well known, Robin Hood steals properties from wealthy people and gives them to the poor. From the vantage point of Christian ethics, Robin Hood's act is immoral because it deprived the wealthy people of the right that is due to them. However, from the vantage point of utilitarianism, Robin Hood's act is morally good because it produces maximum benefits, that is, greatest happiness to the majority of the people.
So this is the video. Do you have any slightest idea about what the video is? Anyone? Whatever, by watching the video, whatever come to your mind, just in one word, can you describe? Just, about on what topic, what it is actually.
This is Aisha.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Aisha.
Yeah, Aisa, please.
Okay, to be honest, it is the first thing that I learned from the topic that you want to discuss today. And I searched from the Googles and I just find out the terms of utilitarianism. And it's really, it's blown my mind that on the other side, people think that utilitarianism is something that we have to earn for our lives, because the concept of the happiness is something that people deserve to have to be happy. So no matter how they try to earn the happiness in their life, and the popular terms of the utilitarianism is as the better. Yeah, utilitarianism. What is the name of the founder of the utilitarianism is
That is,
Jeremy Bentham. Yeah.
yeah.
Jeremy Bentham is he say that the greatest happiness of the greatest number. It's mean that if we want to be happy, you have to concern as well how to give the happiness to others. Okay, that's all that I will.
Thank you.
Yes.
Know. Anyone else wants to say on this video what you have understood or what idea you have about the video or what you feel like? Anything? Hi, Rosa. Rachika is here.
May I say something?
Yes, Ahmed. Yeah.
I don't catch exactly what do you mean this word.
Utilitarian. Yes, utilitarianism. Utilitarianism.
Utilitarianism.
Yeah.
But I am searching on the Google, like you following the way, like the religion or something like this.
No, it's not. Anyway, you keep on saying what you have understood.
So don't catch exactly what do you mean this word, but I am thinking that will be like following the
From the
religion or
video.
principle.
From the video. Did you watch the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just asking about the video, what idea you have about the video. So, for you, it's related to religion. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start with my slides, sharing the
May I
slides.
say something?
Yes, Nargis, of course. I'd love to hear.
Okay, let me say. Okay. As far as I understood from the video, utilitarianism is about what is right, what is wrong. It's about what is moral thing to do and what is not. And it depends. And it said that the right thing to do is to choose to do the thing that will bring happiness to the vast majority of people. For instance, if there is two things that you can choose between, the one thing will bring happiness only to one person, and the second choice will bring happiness to 5 people, then the morally right thing to do is to choose the second one.
Yeah.
So
Thank
it
you.
is about, okay, you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start with a slide. Can you see the slide?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so utilitarianism is a word which is quite related to the word utility, which means, do you know what is utility? Anyway, anyone can guess the picture by reading. Can you read the picture? Someone? What have you seen in these 3 pictures? Or what ideas come to your mind?
Okay. So this is a mat.
Mm.
I'm choosing the 3 photo, like ethic, utility. And the difference between ethic, I think I catch this word, utilitarianism. And for example, in your personal life, you do something like ethic, but there are another side like utility, and you choosing utility on ethic, and you consider yourself utilitarian person rather than you be the ethical man or something like this.
Okay. And about the other picture? Okay, if you don't want to say, then other can also join. Other can also say about what the other picture is saying, or you can say about all the 3 pictures.
Can I?
Yeah.
In my opinions, I interested in the picture of the scale between ethics and utility. It is I describe it my own words. I think utility is much more considered to provide the happiness rather than the ethics itself. No matter the people try to earn the happiness, even though it's not according to the ethics. But as far as people can bring happiness, so just go ahead. Just like the video between Robin Hood on the other side and for the other people in majority. Okay.
Thank you. So utilitarianism, which is a theory of morality that advocates actions that foster happiness or pleasure and oppose actions that cause unhappiness or harm. Anyone get it? Anyone wants to say, describe the definition? Or you want me to describe the definition? If anyone is interested to describe this definition, I would love to hear. Okay, a theory of morality. What is morality? Morality is the principle that decides about the action, which action is good, which action is bad, what is right or what is wrong. So that is theory of morality. And utilitarianism is the theory of morality that advocates actions, that supports the action that fosters happiness or pleasure, that fosters happiness or pleasure. Means that when from an action we get the consequences of the action, the result of the action is happiness. When we get happiness to the action, that action is considered as good action. Or utilitarian always try to reduce the amount of sadness, or try to reduce the amount of happiness. So basically they focus on the action from where they will get more happiness, and they try to reduce pain, reduce doing harm to others, reduce unhappiness, which is called utilitarianism. Anyone would like to read this?
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Utilitarianism promotes that greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people. An action is right if it's result in the happiness of the greatest number of the people in a society.
Yeah. So the same definition only, the utilitarianism promotes the greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people. So if the result of an action is giving maximum happiness to maximum people in the society, so that is a good thing. Even if it is wrong, even if we consider, you have already seen in the video, even the action is wrong, we think, but if it gives maximum pleasure to the maximum number of people, then that action is morally good, they consider. An action is right if it results in the happiness of the greatest number of people in a society. So they focuses on the majority, not the minority, and they leave the minority. Focuses on the majority. Maximum happiness for the maximum number of people. The word, okay, anyone, if someone wants to read it, most welcome.
May I?
Yeah, Janab.
The word utility means general well-being, happiness, or usefulness. So the morality of an action depends upon the utility of the result of that action. If the consequences of the action satisfy maximum number of people, then that action is considered as right.
Yes, thank you. So it comes from the word utilitarian, comes from the word utility. Utility means beneficial to something. When I do something, what is the benefit of that action? Who are going to be benefited by that result of my action? The word utility means general well-being, happiness or usefulness. And we always seek for happiness, isn't it? Whatever we do for the happiness. Anyone wants pain? No, we never want to get pain. We always, our intention of doing something is to get pleasure. So the word utility means general well-being, happiness or usefulness. So the morality of an action depends upon the utility of the result of that action. So whatever we do, the result of the action, whether it is useful, beneficial to others, depends on that. We decide that the utilitarian decide that the action is right or wrong. This is called utilitarianism. If the consequences of the action satisfy maximum number of people, then that action is considered as right. Even if the action is not good, we consider it as wrong. But if it is benefit many people, then it is a correct action. Founder of utilitarianism. Anyone wants to try reading?
I gonna do it.
Okay.
Jeremy Bentham,
Bentham.
an English philosopher, founder. Johann Stuart Mill, an English philosopher, reformer of Bentham's theory. Nature has places monkeyed under the governments of two sovereign masters, pain and pleasure. It is for them to point out what we ought to do, as well as to determine what we shall do. Bentham, human beings are basically pleasure-seeking and pain-avoiding animals. We do those things which gives us pleasure and avoiding those which give us pain.
Thank you. So founder of utilitarianism, who founded utilitarianism theory? Actually, the utilitarianism existed earlier, but Jeremy Bentham, who is an English philosopher, he popularized it, and therefore he is known as the father of utilitarianism. But before him, the utilitarianism existed. And John Stuart Mill, he is also an English philosopher who is the pupil of Jeremy Bentham, both are English philosopher, and he mostly he accepted, agreed to Jeremy Bentham, but in some cases not. So he later revised this theory, reformed this theory. So let us discuss about what both the philosophers said about this theory of utilitarianism. Nature has, this is about Bentham. Bentham said, nature has placed mankind under the governance of two sovereign masters, pain and pleasure. Means we all are driven by two authority, two masters, that is pain and pleasure. It is for them to point out what we ought to do as well as to determine what we shall do. So everything depends upon pain and pleasure, what we should do and what are the actions we should avoid. Human beings are basically pleasure-seeking and pain-avoiding animals. We all do. We never want any pain. Although we are inescapable of pain. We have sometimes pain, but whatever we do, we seek for pleasure, happiness. And we do those things which gives us pleasure and avoid those which give us pain. We do not want pain from our action. Anyone wants to read what Bentham said?
If no one is read, I will.
Yeah.
Me.
Sure.
I can read.
Okay, Fatima.
Okay. According to Bentham, quality of pleasure is not important, only quantity of pleasure matters. There can't be higher or lower pleasure, there can only be more or less pleasure. Pashmin is as good as poetry. Pashmin, is it the name Pashmin? Or I don't know.
Push
Just
me.
like pleasure.
Yeah. It is
Pushpin.
Pushpin. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
please go ahead.
Just like pleasure don't differ in quality, similarly, persons also don't differ in quality. Greatest happiness of greatest number. A state should create policy that gives happiness to the majority of people.
Yeah, thank you. So Bentham said quality of pleasure is not important. For him, every kind of quality pleasure has the same quality. Pleasure never differs in quality. For example, the pleasure that I get from eating an ice cream and the pleasure someone else gets from reading a book, the amount of pleasure they are getting are same, equal. It is not different. The quality means the quality is different, and only quantity of pleasure matters. It can be more or less, but higher or lower. So there can be higher or lower pleasure. There can be only more or less pleasure. He also gave an example that pushpin. Pushpin is a kind of game which is very popular among the children. So pushpin is as good as poetry. Now, to play pushpin, we don't need much intelligence. But to write poetry or to read poetry, to understand poetry, you need some ability to understand, isn't it? Now, he is saying that the pleasure you are getting from playing pushpin, the amount of that pleasure and the amount of the pleasure that you are getting from writing a poetry or reading a poetry, they are equal. The quality is equal. Just like pleasure don't differ in quality, similarly, persons also don't differ in quality. Like greatest happiness of greatest number, a state should create policy that gives happiness to the majority of people. And he says that state or any for policy making or maybe in the neighborhood or anything, that when you are making a policy, if that policy is gives maximum pleasure to the society, then it is a good action. Even if you individually you think that is not correct, but still it is good because it is giving maximum pleasure to the maximum number of people, which is according to Bentham. So do you have anything to say about this?
Yes.
Please.
I want to say I disagree with this theory. I don't like this theory. I don't know if it is right or wrong. I think it's just a theory, but I can't agree with this because it's not moral in my idea. That the pleasure is and happiness is moral, and it's just dependent on the number of people. The greater happiness for the greater number of people, it means that the individual of our matters. So it doesn't care about is it right or wrong. So if a lot of people are happy with something which is wrong, or they are ignorant about something, like we can see in maybe some countries, they believe in some wrong belief, and maybe they kill each other for that wrong belief. So this theory says that it's okay, it's moral. If a lot of people are happy with that action, that's why I call it wrong action, for example, in my idea, but they call them right, so it's okay, it's moral. So in this case, I believe that maybe moral things and stuff is different from Eastern country to Western country. It's different from culture to culture, family to family, because it depends on the number of people and their knowledge and their culture, their religion. If they are happy with something, then it's good and it's moral. And I can't accept that in my personal idea.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Anyone wants to say?
Yeah, this is Aisha speaking.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Well, according to my opinions, on the other side, I agree and I love that if it could be applied to making for the law, because the quality pleasure is not important for the first theory of Bentham, but according to me that if we follow this theory for example to the policy of the government, for instance making the punishment for the character, because if we put the punishment so hard for the character, because it is indicate or to consider with the people welfare or people happiness. For example, for the characters will give beheaded for it or killed if they it's the government found it that he is a corrupted and um, the punishment he has to be killed. So because if the punishment is not established for the character, so the people will suffer from their crimes, from their ability. So it is better that we have to put it for the people who will give happiness. And I think for this theory, it's suitable for making the policy or the government, because it's tend to give considering with the majority happiness of the people. It's not only for the certain, just like I told you for the beginning video, that the example of Robin Hood, and Robin Hood for the rich people who have been stolen for the
For the poor. Yeah.
The wealth from the by the what is called it Robin Hood. On the other side, for the needy, for the poor people, Robin Hood is a kind of person of the hero, because he give the welfare, they give all they need, they give the utility, the benefits to the poor. But on the other side, for the rich people, he is a crime, he is a thief, and this is a kind of difference. So the Robin Hood consider that I do such kind of this crime just to give the happiness for the poor. That's why I have to steal something that who deserve to give it for the poor people. Even though what I'm doing is not good. What I'm doing is crimes. He realized that, but what he do just for the sake to give the happiness for the number of the people. So that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to say? Can go ahead, otherwise I'm moving to the next slide. Anyone interested to say?
I'm so much interested in the topic, and I have to say that if we want to make happy a lot of people, then we should give pain to the other person. So is it okay to kill someone and then take out the liver and brain and heart and kidney and give to 5 persons who are sick and give them life, kill one and then make 5 of people happy? Is it right? Is it moral? For example, someone who is addicted, someone who is not useful for the society, just like someone who homeless. I don't know how. Yeah, this person doesn't have any knowledge, any job, and nothing, and just wish to die, maybe. No, I don't think any human being wish to die, because everyone loves his life and love to live. So is it moral to kill this person by a doctor, for example, do surgery and then save the life of 10%? I think no, it's not moral, and it creates a lot of question in my mind now by reading this theory. For me, creating pain
Sacrificing
for
one's,
a small group of person, and then
sacrificing
giving,
our own individual pleasure for the sake of the society's pleasure.
Large
isn't
number
it?
of persons.
Okay. So now that was said by Bentham.
1 minute.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think this theory, sorry to interrupt you. I think this theory is very useful for dictator, right?
Yes,
They can-
actually I find it very, related to almost, very similar situations. So
Yes.
so now that was said by Bentham. Now come to J.S. Mill, John Stuart Mill, who was the pupil of Bentham. And now let us see what he said. Anyone wants to interested to read?
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
According to G.S. Mill, pleasure is not only quantitative, but also qualitative. Pushpin is not as good as poetry. As pleasure different in quality, men also differs in quality. The thing that satisfies a pig will not satisfy a human being. The thing that gives pleasure to common people may not give pleasure to Socrates, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So there are some, mostly he used, J.S. Mill also believes that about the giving maximum pleasure to the maximum number of people in the society. But he denies some point like pleasure. Bentham said pleasure is not qualitative, but Mill said that it is qualitative. Here, the amount of pleasure got received by different people, the quality of the pleasure has differences. He said Pushpin is not as good as poetry. Now, there is, I don't remember actually, but Plato's theory of tripartite, he said like the soul has three elements like logic, then spirit, and appetite. Like some need to survive so I exactly don't remember, but what I want to say is that some people are rational, logical thinker. They have the ability to give judgment, good decision maker, and their soul is dominated by logic, and for some they are emotionally driven. So different type of soul he had described. So here Mill said that to play Pushpin you don't need much intelligence, and for writing poetry or reading a poetry you need some ability to understand, who will be easier for the logical thinker, rational thinker, or critical thinker. They will get more pleasure from reading the poetry, and that person might be feeling bored by playing Pushpin, because his level of thinking and everything is different. And the other person who doesn't have logical thinking, or who is not interested in reading anything, who doesn't want to use his brain, for him he must be getting more pleasure by playing Pushpin. So for him quality differs. As pleasure differs in quality, man also differs in quality, he said. the thing that satisfies a pig will not satisfy a human being. Definitely, this is true, isn't it? A thing that satisfies pig will not satisfy a human being. Or also he gave an example like the pleasure that the common people get, Socrates may not get, and Socrates' level is different. So he always believed that quality of pleasure is always different from different types of pleasure. So anyone wants to say something
this
about
theory
it?
is more. Yes, I agree with this one. It's more reasonable for me.
You are in male
I think
subgroup.
yes, people not only the things that satisfy a pig is will not satisfy the human being, but also between human being is different. The things that make me satisfied and happy is different from the things that make you, for example, satisfied or happy. It's different from person to person, and the quality of happiness and pleasure is different, and the quality of people are also different. I think yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Anyone wants to say, or otherwise I'll move to the other slide. Okay. So I'm going to the next one. So here comes the question round for you. Some personal questions also. I don't know if you feel like saying, what gives you the maximum amount of pleasure? Who wants to say? What are the activities that gives you? Yeah. Yes.
Different things give different kind of pleasure. It's different in level of pleasure. Some things maybe less pleasure. Something else give me a high level of pleasure. Some pleasure are so temporary, and some pleasure it takes long time, maybe for a long life. It's every time with me. I feel that pleasure, and of course, it's beyond the physical body. So physical pleasure is temporary, and lower pleasure in my idea, but mental pleasure and spiritual pleasure is in a higher level, and it's not temporary. And every person, I think, experience different kind of pleasure. Maybe we don't notice at that moment which kind of pleasure it is, but of course it's different, and I can't name that.
Okay.
I can't name. We have different, yes. Like this moment, yes. I have a pleasure being in your class, talking with you, enjoying with this topic. So it's a pleasure for me.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Anyone else?
Anyone
this is
else?
Aisha.
Yeah,
Aisha.
Yeah.
Okay, it's really interesting questions. What gives you the maximum amount of pleasure? So everybody have a different pleasure, have different concept of happiness. But I think that we have to realize that people was born with a different level of intelligence, different level of emotional quotient, and then also spiritual quotient. So we have to consider that for me, for myself, the thing that I will give something for maximum amount of pleasure is start to ourselves. That is spreading the kindness, spreading the good behavior, and we have to try to be good. That can bring also the maximum amount of pleasure, because if we can treat people nicely, so I feel something that I also feel happy. So, and in turns, when people treat me nicely, so I feel pleasure, I feel happy and I feel feel enjoyable. So that's why the first thing that I have to do for my life to make myself happy and also others happy is start from ourselves. That is the kindness itself, because every single kindness that we make will return in our life. So that's all my opinion.
Thank you. Anyone else want to give the answer?
Yeah, about me, on me,
Yeah.
the question is what gives you the maximum amount of pleasure? For me, nature, actually. Nature gives me this kind of pleasure, and maybe because of my childhood experience, because most of my childhood experience and memory pass in the nature. Yeah. Because of this, yeah, my top of list is this nature. But who gives this amount of pleasure? I think just myself. Not only about myself, I think it's about anybody. Is only one person can give this kind of pleasure and happiness. Is just our own self. Yeah. But based on the people's experience, it would be different. For me, for example, nature, because our character made in childhood, and based on that childhood, we judge the world, we judge the universe, and we choose which kind of amusement, which kind of activity give pleasure to us. Yeah, I think, and research shows the same, but maybe it's different based off their experience. The answer would be different. Yeah, for me, I'm sure it would be nature.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone want to say, or shall I go to the next question? Or if anyone wants to say more about it?
Let me answer it.
Nargis.
Maximum amount of pleasure. A bit difficult to answer. Maybe things that are exciting for me. For instance, I can't say being lonely, being alone can bring me pleasure, or some peaceful place can be something nice. No, I need something exciting, and I enjoy it more. Maybe conversations with people that I consider like-minded. Maybe watching something really interesting that's really interesting for me. I like to eat, so things. Maybe a very delicious meal can bring me pleasure, but I can't really say which one would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to the next question. Let me see. I don't even know. Okay. So the next question is, how often do you feel pain? Or the pain here means to sadness. And how long does it exist? Is this like frequently do you feel pain?
May I answer?
Yes, Fatima.
How often? I think
Do you-
rarely, not much, feel pain or sadness. If it happens, it will take short time, not long time, very short time. Very temporary sadness happened to me, and then I forget everything. I don't live in past, and it's not in my hand. I don't remember past sometimes. And when we're talking about some memories with friends, I should think carefully to remember something, and still I don't remember. I don't know if it's because of my memory is weak or something else. So I think it's good for this, that I don't remember sadness or past bad memories and pain, and maybe not weekly, monthly, maybe I'm getting sad, deeply sad, I mean, not just for, and it
Yeah.
take some hours, 1 hour maybe, or less than 1 hour. And then I come back to the normal life. Anyone else?
Anyone?
About this question actually is not very clear about, for example, pain about your physics, your body, maybe, yeah.
Anything.
In general,
Yeah, in general. Yeah.
It depends on that situation. For example, if your loved ones, your children, your parents, and your relative have some disease, and they have this kind of challenge, yeah, and you deal with this, and it makes you sad. Yeah, I know manage of this situation is very important. It's kind of it needs a skill, and it's better you know this skill and manage this situation, but it depends on that situation. I can't show you a specific time for it. Yeah, for example, in my country, for more than 3 months, yeah, we have some problem in our country, and I can say every day I have this challenge. Even I can say every day, sometimes I'm crying about my people, but I can pull together myself and do my activity and manage all of things. But I can't say it doesn't involve me, not at all. It depends on situation, it depends on that case, it depends on, for example, your emotion, your belief about something. Yeah, sometimes you can, but one thing is very important is you have to manage your feeling. Even in this situation, I believe it's better you increase your knowledge about that issue. For example, about this situation in my country, every day I'm trying consider some times for a study about this issue. And when I increase my knowledge about this situation, about political issue in this situation, it gives me good feeling, and I can manage all of things. And yeah, but I think we are human, full of emotion, full of beliefs, full of experience. Yeah, and I can't consider a specific time. Personal issue, yeah, I have some habit, and for this reason, even that situation, I have to manage. But giving you a specific time, no, I think it's a little bit difficult for me. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you. Anyone wants to say? Or shall I move to the next? We have only 3 minutes, and I have a lot of questions, but I want to go to some where I have interest to know from you. Shall I go? Okay. Yes, this question I want to know from someone. What is more important to you, individual pleasure or pleasure of others?
This is Ahmed.
Yeah, Ahmed.
My answering about this question, individual pleasure. That will be more important than thinking about the pleasure for others.
Okay.
Yeah, the same for me. I'm not an altruist. Yeah, individual first. But it
Then the
depends on the
pleasure of
person as well.
It's
depends on
pleasure
the
of
person,
others mean
because-
actually I wanted to say the pleasure of that maximum. Do you believe in that maximum happiness for the society, for the maximum number of people, or you prefer to have your individual pleasure?
For me,
Really difficult question.
Yes, Ajita.
For me, it's pleasure of others. For example, if I'm so happy about some personal issue in my life, and maybe some of them I'm waiting for them all of my lifetime, but it happens, it actually, honestly, it doesn't make me happy because of my people. Because I think real happiness for me is when my society is happy. Not only my people, even I'm happy and I know something is wrong about some people, another country. It makes me sad because we are human. Yeah, I can manage my feeling, and I can see it very clear and consider some aspect of this issue. But actually, my real happiness is whenever my neighbors, my people are happy. Yeah, whenever we are happy, I think my real happiness it's that time. Yeah,
Okay.
for me it's this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Actually, our time is over, and maybe we will continue in the next, because we have board meeting now. So thank you everyone for your participation.
Thank you.
Thanks for the class.
Thank you for providing
Nice to
this
know your
material for us.
Nice to know your
Thank you,
opinions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Bye for now.
bye. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we have board meeting, and I'm chairing. So let me check who are on the board here. James is here, Nargis is here, Fatima and Ahmed. So I mean, yeah. So we will discuss about it. And so we all are here, and I would like to collect the agenda for today. And if anyone wants to collect the agenda and write on our Discord channel. Anyone would like to be the secretary for today?
I can read.
Okay, so let's collect
The first
agenda.
agenda item is boundaries for relationships among members outside of the group.
Okay,
Okay. And the second one is sharing English content, including linguistics, philosophy, psychology, literature, biology, and etc. in this group's Facebook page to make the page more interesting and attractive by admins.
so, and anyone wants to add more to the agenda?
Yes, I'd like to put on the agenda making the board meetings closed.
Okay. I would like to say the last half an hour will be open for the all members too. And for this first half, just observe silently. Ahmed, do you have any? Fatima?
No,
No.
Okay.
thank you.
I also have an item. I am unclear about Ahmed. So,
No, I don't have any idea about it.
No, that is my agenda item to discuss. Yeah. So I would like to start with the first one.
I feel like
Nargis.
postponing it. I don't want to discuss it today.
Mhm.
So we can pass to the next ones, but I'm not clear about your agenda item.
I want to know whether
The
by
status, position of
yes,
or
position
what?
of Ahmed, because most of us,
I'll say something to that before you,
yes,
it's obvious,
yeah.
you don't need to say. I removed I removed Ahmed's status as a board member from Discord.
Well, that's what I wanted to know. Okay, so I don't have them.
And it was my understanding that it was unanimous, that the reason it made sense is not because of any personal problems, but that the internet connection was not stable enough to continue working together.
Yeah.
That both text and video, for every meeting that we had consistently, the internet connection was not persistent or consistent.
Okay.
And that we would keep open the possibility of working together based on seeing how that goes, but that up until this point, we had tried a number of times and we're not able to have a conversation with Ahmed where his internet was reliable throughout the conversation. And so it makes it difficult to work together. And my understanding was that everyone agreed to that.
Yes, I would
Yeah.
like to.
We had a discussion, just one last thing is we were discussing this openly and I had not heard anything back from Ahmed about it, and that is consistent with well, I don't know if he saw it or not. So, but I think that it makes sense to continue in that direction. And again, as people have said, no hard feelings. I have enjoyed working with Ahmed, and I'm glad that he's here today and glad to continue checking about his availability and his internet connection. But we had, I think, put in a lot of effort to find a way to talk, and it didn't really seem to work. And it doesn't seem worth pursuing it. The energy that we put into pursuing it doesn't seem worth it to me at this point.
Yeah, so we already have discussed on Discord also about this matter, that you and all of us maybe consider that because of his internet problem issues, again and again, repeatedly, he is unable to answer, or we are not getting the answers what we want to know from him. So it is a communication problem for maybe for internet, and for this is the reason that I also don't consider him as a board member. And I hope, I guess everyone, Fatima, Nargis, all of us agreed to the same. So he is no more board member. And then, yeah, Nargis.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, I'm done.
Okay. I agree with that. It was out of question because we all already discussed and set policy for board members.
Okay. So if all agreed, then we want to shift to the second agenda.
We discussed about it, but I'm not sure about asking Ahmed for scheduling on December, and he's scheduled on 30, I think, in December. So what was about that? After December, is he board member or not yet? Because it will discuss that the minimum requirement is to schedule a meeting to chair and he scheduled a date on 30th of December. So we are waiting to that time. I'm not sure.
Can I say something to
wanna
that?
be more clear
Can I
about
say-
it.
Yes.
Yes.
My understanding is it's not that the minimum requirement is to schedule. The minimum requirement is to host. Now, Ahmed has scheduled, which is great, and I think it's, I welcome him to host the meeting, and let's see how it goes. I don't think it's a requirement to be a board member to host and chair the board meeting. Happy to have Ahmed host and chair the board meeting, and then let's see how it goes. And if we all would like to mutually invite Ahmed to be a board member again, and Ahmed would like to be a board member, then we can do that as well. But I think the conclusion we came to is that there's no need to rush. Ahmed did say that he's involved in other personal things quite and was not very available. And so I don't see the issue if he's not available. There seems to be no reason to rush to make a decision about him being a board member or not. His membership on the board lapsed because of his absence for a month, and I see no need to rush to change that.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I'd like to hear from Ahmed if you want to say something.
My voice is audible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something about my internet connection. To be honest, I live in Syria. The internet connection is the big problem here, and sometimes I don't have internet. If you have the negative effect on my working in this group, you can remove me. But I'm not consider that's most important. Sometimes I have internet connection. Sometimes I have the strong internet, but almost my internet is good. My second reason, to be honest, I very busy last month in my working, and to be honest, in December I have the empty time. I can serving the James English classroom. I don't matter if I am working as a board member or not, because I am starting with this group as a normal member with you, and I am ready to work if you prefer that. That's my answering about it.
My idea about this month, personally, I was planning.
Nargis,
I wanted to.
Nargis, would you please summarize Ahmed?
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to object to that. I just want to jump in. And my reason for objecting to that is that Ahmed is not a board member. And I'm curious why you've invited him into this discussion now. I feel like talking about his internet is something, to me, that is not an agenda item, and it is not on the schedule to have a discussion like this.
Okay.
So I just want to object.
Okay, sure. Nargis. Yeah, Nargis, go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to see this December as a trial month for us to try and communicate with Ahmed. For me, it was not only about hosting and being there. I know it is a policy, but it was the biggest problem for me is not his internet connection, honestly, and not that he's not able to do any work for the group. Simply to be able to communicate and to get responses, even for the questions that are asked, maybe after 3 days, whenever he had better connection, just to feel the care, to be understood. And I was hoping to maybe to see some kind of improvement in December. And I'm still ready. I think because I like to see Ahmed among board members, and I appreciate his work that he has done so far. And I'm still ready to work with him if he is eager. But yes, for now, he's not a board member. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I want to say, I mean, why I was inviting him, because most of the time I get frustrated with him. I want to speak to him in Discord and he never comes. So I just wanted to clarify here, if he has anything to say here, just can clearly say. Now, if all agreed, and I want to move to Fatima's agenda. I think no one has any objection. So Fatima, please, can you? Fatima?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So about your agenda, would you like to start?
I found the Facebook page on our group just about sharing link. I wasn't sure that, I'm not sure you agree with me or not, just as a suggestion. I like to share other materials and content there and make it active between members. Maybe in Discord, members are not active so much, especially recently, just the board members are talking and discussing. I think in Facebook, maybe it's an open space for every member to write and be active. It depends on the purpose of our group, and I'm not sure about that, what the purpose. So I'd like to share some literature or linguistics, something related to English or other content. And I just want to know, what do you think about it? And what's your idea?
I have no objection. Sounds like a good idea.
Same here. I also find it useful because the group is for learning English. And if we sometimes keep posting some related English learning related post, it will be helpful for the members, and the member will become active also. So sounds like fine for me. I'd like to know from James.
Yeah. I think that I'm not against it. If you'd like to work with the Facebook page to make it more active, you know, there's many places where we can work to generate, I mean, to offer activity, to offer material and have activity. I haven't really liked the way Facebook is set up. I found it to be problematic for a number of reasons. That's why I really don't put energy there to increase activity. Although in the group is, there's a lot of people in that group. I don't know if it's 2,000 or 4,000. So I think that it's worth trying to see if people there are interested in engaging if we were to put more material there. So yeah, I'd say give it a try. Let's see what comes. It is Facebook engagement has dropped off. You know, I mean, there was a time when the membership was increasing at like 100 people a week or day or something ridiculous, and now there's like one person who joins every month. So I think it's okay to give it a try, and certainly I think worthwhile to respond to people who the biggest comment is always, you know, how do I join the classes?
And what about the boundaries there, about content? Is there any boundary or limitation or rules? Or because admin, I think I am admin, and Munni, and I don't know.
Nargis is
James,
also
Nargis
admin.
or not.
All are admin.
So only the admin can share, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I don't
may
think
I
that's
share whatever is.
I don't think it's true that only admin can share. It's just that the only admin can share without admin approval. So if people
Approval,
put
yes.
posts, people put in the
Yes.
posts, right? And
Right.
and generally when people share there, if they post something relevant and substantial, I usually approve it. I don't approve things which are just links to other groups. I don't
Yeah.
approve posts which are like hello, what is this group, you know, like really short things. But if somebody writes a few sentences and is taking it seriously, I usually just approve it. And I don't think there, maybe I haven't checked, but I don't think there's been posts made.
So is that okay for different topics, like I mentioned in this course, to share like pictures or code or whatever? Is that fine?
Give it a try.
Okay.
You're laughing. Have you tried doing it, or you haven't wanted to try?
I just shared a welcome picture to our new members last night.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed.
And that's it only. Yes.
How do you
And
feel?
I just want to try. I feel good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was glad to.
Not much people answered. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was glad to see you make a welcome message to the new members. I think those can be helpful.
Yes. I felt boring in the group in Facebook page, so I started sharing that welcome.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you say? My internet connection may be bad. You said you felt what?
I felt in the Facebook group kind of boring because nothing shared there. So I was thinking boring, yes, that maybe we can share some material and people can give their idea and be a little bit more active if my internet is good, because it's also banned in my country, Facebook. So I need a strong, good connection sometimes to connect to Facebook otherwise. But I like to share some literatures. That's the reason that I like Mukhtar and Siamak and maybe others. I didn't notice really who shared that, but the material is great for me. I like the material, the code, and I like it. So I just wanted to share in our group, and maybe people are interested to give their ideas and have a discussion there. That's it.
Yeah, I like the idea. I see a lot of people come also to our Facebook group, and they wait for they watch the YouTube videos, or I saw the likes and the announcement. So people from Facebook, they come and join.
Yes, 4,000 members now there.
This is Ahmed. May I say something about the Facebook page? I think.
Yes, actually there's 7 minutes left, and I want to open it to everyone.
Yeah. we don't make something like Facebook event. I remember in the past when you have the new teacher, we making the weekly scheduling to the teacher, the Facebook event. And that will be strong for our Facebook page. I think that will be great idea if you make the weekly Facebook event for the new teacher or old teacher.
I wanted to do that, but I have no time.
Ahmed, would you
And
like
I
to
like
do
that
that?
idea.
Well, I also agree that it's a useful
Yeah.
activity. I mean, it's good to have those Facebook events, and it's just a matter of who would like to do it. And I don't think
Yes.
anybody has wanted to do the work of doing that. So there's
I'm
lots of
gonna do it.
things.
Sorry.
Okay. Ahmed wants to do that.
Great.
But I need, sorry, I need something. You must share the name of teacher in weekend. For example, you put in the schedule of the week, just you share this list for me, and I'm gonna making the event first.
I'm not sure what information you need. I thought that it's on the calendar. That
Yeah.
the calendar indicates at least a week in advance what teachers are teaching in the group.
Sure. To be honest, James, I don't have any access to the calendar. Maybe I have the problem in my email, and that will be not approval by the admin or the calendar. So I don't access to the Google Calendar.
Did you
So
see
that's
the
my
links?
Weekly.
Discord links. I guess anyone can say, anyone can access to that. Means you don't have the permission to edit, but you can see the link if you go to the link. Did you try it?
I couldn't see, Monmi. I couldn't see when I didn't have the I was not allowed.
Yes,
to
I
make
remember.
any changes. I couldn't see anything there. But I think it's not a problem. I can weekly just share the screens in Discord.
Could we slow down, please? Because this is part of the communication problem, which is this has been going on for months. I can remember months ago, Nelly and Ahmed trying to discuss if Ahmed can see the calendar. And I was never able to figure out what is the issue. Can Ahmed see the calendar or not? Now, Ahmed is saying he can't see the calendar. And I think I also remember somebody volunteering to post pictures of the calendar and then stopping to do that. And so I'm a little cautious about that as a solution right now. Just cautious, I'm not against it. So I would like to get some clear information about whether it's true that certain people cannot see the Google Calendar, or if it's just a matter of not having the link. Is it a simple matter, or is it something more like a block, like Fatima can't reach Facebook? Is it something like that Ahmed cannot reach the Google Calendar? Because I thought that the Google Calendar is public, and if it's not, more than just for Ahmed, maybe we need a different kind of calendar to use that is more easily accessible to everyone. Because the whole purpose, half of the purpose is to let everyone know what's on the calendar, not just for us to schedule for ourselves.
I'd like to say, when I was not board member, I noticed from my smartphone, I couldn't open the Google Calendar of James Green's English Classroom, but through my desktop, I could. And I would like to know here from the people also, other members, Ali, Kang, Rosa, if it is accessible to you, can you see the Google Calendar in our Discord? Hi, Ali. Hi, Rosa.
Hello.
Yeah. Is this the same Ali? Ali Shafak Noor. Actually, I wanted to know, it will be helpful if you inform us whether you can see the Google Calendar from our Discord links or not.
I tried
hello.
once and I need a permission to get in. So I can see it directly.
I want to distinguish whether people need permission or they need a Google account, because you do need I think a Gmail account. Is that right? To access the calendar? Putting the link to the calendar in the Zoom chat. Can you confirm that? Who was speaking just a moment ago who said that they
Rosa.
need permission? Rosa?
Rosa from Mexico.
Do you have a Gmail account that you're using to log into Google?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, so you have the Gmail account, you need some kind of additional permission, you're saying, or the last time you checked?
The last time that I checked. Now I can see it. There is
Now-
no one even here.
No event or no problem seeing it? What?
There is no event program schedule.
I'm sorry,
No
I can't
event.
understand you.
No event, no program
right.
scheduled.
For
No.
December 9th.
December 9th. Well, that's a mistake, isn't it?
That's, I guess, that is not James, our group's calendar.
Did I share the wrong calendar?
Let me check. Yeah, this is the same calendar. Here is the schedule I have. The system, same one.
Okay, so Rosa, you're not see, that's what you should see on the Google Calendar. You don't see that?
No.
Okay.
No.
And I see Ali messaged, I want to know from Ali. I want to know from Ali whether you were able to see the same calendar. Ali, you were there? Hi, Ali.
Yes.
Okay, can you see the same calendar when you opened?
Okay, I'm trying. Let me check. No, it's not like that.
Okay, so you are also not able to see. That means,
Can I?
is that something in the setting?
You know, on the left-hand side of Google Calendar, there are different calendars, and you'll need to check the one that says JGEC classes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they won't appear on your calendar.
I'm going to see. Can you see here? James Screens JGEC classes. So you should have.
No.
See,
Calendar.
this is my calendar. See, this is my calendar. If I click, so this is my calendar. So this is James Green's classroom calendar. So you need to have
I'm sharing the screenshot of their calendar in WhatsApp group. You should check it and then tell me if it's correct or not. Okay.
I didn't understand
Sorry,
anything.
your sound quality is very poor, Ali. I can't understand what you're saying. You might try writing it.
I think
I
he
also
asked if
don't
we could.
see any.
I'm
I don't see the
sharing the
calendar.
chart, the screenshot
Ali,
of
yes.
my calendar which I
Okay.
found. I'm sharing in the group, so you should check it. Okay. I shared the screenshot of that calendar which you give the link. So I opened that link and I take screenshot from that calendar, and now I shared in WhatsApp group. So please check that.
WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Would you?
Okay.
Share the screens in WhatsApp group or what?
He shared in
Wow.
WhatsApp group.
WhatsApp group, James WhatsApp group.
He shared something there.
Can you
James
check?
mid-level class. I share also, and I see the same.
Okay.
Maybe you should try from the laptop. I think it was a problem of sharing.
Same for me.
Yeah, trying from phone. Can any of you
Maybe because
try
I'm
from
trying
laptop?
from phone.
I think I recall Nelly saying that. Yeah, when I was having problems, she told me to try it from laptop.
Yeah,
Maybe
same
that
happened
could be
to
a
me
solution.
when I tried from my smartphone phone. It didn't open, and then from desktop I was able to see. Anyway, I think that's a good idea if we post the weekly schedule once in our Discord channel, in the schedule channel. It would be great. We just need to send a screenshot. I can also do that weekly.
Well, as I'm working with the calendar,
If
can
you
do that
want,
as well.
Okay.
Well, since we require classes to be scheduled a week in advance, I think sharing it weekly would be sufficient.
Yes.
Sharing it weekly would give the person enough time to create Facebook events. You might want to coordinate the day that you do it. Like if you're going to share the calendar on a Sunday, then it probably is best for Ahmed to create the events on the Sunday that will give the most time in advance to have the Facebook events appear.
Mhm. Okay. That sounds good.
I'd like to hear
And-
from Ahmed when he's planning.
He's not here. Yeah.
He's not here. I'll check with him. Okay, try to
So,
check.
anything else wants to share from the board and from the other members?
Just a small detail. When you share the calendar, you might want to share 2 weeks of the calendar. So, because if I share it on Sunday, and there's an event on Tuesday, that's short notice. But if you share 2 weeks of the calendar for next Tuesday, that's really the timeline, I think, that we want to be creating events, right? So to give it 9 days advanced warning for the Facebook event rather than 2.
Mhm.
Does that make sense, Nargis?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking, for instance, I share the next week and the other week this Sunday, and what I'm going to share the next Sunday.
Yeah.
This
So
week and
if
the
it,
other one, every time, yes?
so if it's December 1st, I would share the calendar up to December 14. And if it's December 7, I would share the calendar up to December 21.
Okay.
2 weeks in advance.
Yeah. And if there is any changes, next Sunday, it will appear.
Well,
Okay.
that's why it would be better to have an active calendar for people who are doing event promotion for us. I mean, otherwise there's going to be some, with the rate of cancellations for classes, that means that we need to take that into account so we don't have Facebook events for classes that are canceled.
Mhm.
And so that if Ahmed is creating Facebook events, he knows somehow that a class is canceled
Yes.
and should delete I don't know if it's deleting, but letting people know that this event is not taking place anymore. Mistakes will happen and we'll have
Additional work.
events for there's a few steps to be taken. If we're going to have somebody creating events, the events need to be accurate. Otherwise, it's not helpful. It's more trouble. Again, we have a channel, right? We have a channel where Ahmed could, or somebody who's creating Facebook events could check cancellations. And we want to reduce the amount of cancellations as much as possible. However, if Ahmed is not checking that channel regularly and is creating events and then just leaving there without knowing, well, then, yeah, that could be a problem. And maybe then we don't want somebody who's not checking in frequently to be creating events, Facebook events for us.
Do we have any cancellation channel in Discord? I think whoever is going to, if Ahmed is looking after this, I don't know, it will be messy for him, maybe who is canceling when, or if we have a
Honestly,
cancellation
I don't
channel.
believe he would do that. We can check with him. I'm thinking about having someone else who could post in or comment if there is any cancellation.
I also don't like the idea of frequent cancellation of classes, and I was thinking of some, maybe we need some policy or so. I don't know how I want it, but it came to my mind when all of a sudden we had a full flow of cancellation. Like 1 week we have scheduled classes for whole week, then one by one after one, we got cancellation. So I didn't like the idea and was just thinking of
for me, I can't remember. We had created a formula that people are allowed a certain amount of cancellations. I can't remember how many it was, maybe 3. And then if you have 3 cancellations, we stop you from scheduling more until we decide either we want to continue or not. So I don't know if you want to keep that. It's a little vague, but I think we need a clear policy on the cancellations. How many cancellations before you cannot schedule classes?
There was a
I
clear
remember what.
like formula.
Yeah, I remember.
If you have canceled.
Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. I remember the formula. If someone has canceled more classes than he has taught. So, Nelly and you were working with him as if he's starting to teach. But I couldn't remember about the 3 classes. Was it canceling 3 classes in a row, or?
I don't remember. That's kind of I'm just giving an example. It might not have been 3 classes. Canceling as many classes as one is taught doesn't seem like a good, that seems like too many cancellations. I don't want 10 classes for 10 cancellations. That's too many cancellations.
I remember one, you said in 10 classes, only 2 classes can be cancelled, like some kind of, I also don't remember.
I think
exactly,
that that to me sounds more accurate. Like in 10 classes, you can cancel twice. And then for every 10 more classes you teach, you get an additional like 2 cancellations or something like that. We can think about the exact formula, but I think the most important thing is that we're keeping track of it. That was something that Nelly kept track of, and I don't know if Fatima is keeping track of that, so that we can look at any teacher and see very easily how many classes have they taught and how many classes have they canceled, and then it's pretty easy for us to decide on a limit.
I want to
Yes, I'm
inform
keeping
one.
track of that.
Okay, Fatima, thank you. I want to inform, I already asked in the schedule channel for substitution class substitute teacher for my 3 classes. That's I'm going to take break from 21st to 10th. So 3 Fridays will be there.
Can I just say that that's fine, but that's not the same as canceling classes, right? Because you're canceling them with more than a week in advance. As long as you cancel with advance notice, we had a different term for it. That's not the same as the limit of canceled classes. The limit refers to canceling at the last minute or less than a week in advance. That's the problem. What you're doing on me is you're rescheduling. So if you're teaching a weekly class and in 2 weeks you're not going to do that class, that's just a reschedule. That's not a cancellation that would count against you in scheduling more classes.
So anything more? We have still 15 minutes if anyone wants to share something about the group.
We can discuss about James' agenda, then close the meeting.
Yes, we forgot. James' agenda.
Yes.
I totally forgot. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I think there's value in having open meetings at times, but I see that there's also value in having them closed. I don't want to assume that we need to have all of our organizational meetings shared, open and shared. And that applies, to the classes too. I think it contributes to people not coming to classes if we're sharing everything. Like I somehow, if we share some and then keep activity to ourselves, I think it preserves a sense of, anyway. I'm fine with it being left up to the chair, like when we decided to do it open, but I would like to move towards more frequently doing some closed meetings.
So you want to have the meeting, but not in public or like we are doing right now? But in a Zoom session, but with the closed, the board members only. I think that's good. I actually like that idea of having meeting only with the board members without sharing with others.
And not sharing live stream also? Without.
Yeah.
That's right. It would be no live stream and non-board members not invited.
Good. We can have
That's
once
good.
a month, a public meeting. If it's necessary.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's good to have public meetings.
Yes. Not weekly, but maybe once a month.
So I can't remember exactly when I scheduled to chair, but it was just the 18th or something, maybe in a week or two. But I will do mine in that way. I will do my meeting. Not on the 16th. 16th is Nargiz. 20, 20. Yes.
23rd or 22nd.
23rd. Christmas Eve.
Yes. 23rd, right? Okay, great. I don't want to miss
Ahmed is
that.
closer.
Huh?
We'll have celebration.
Sure.
The meeting that Ahmed is going to hold, it's on 30th of
30th.
December.
Yeah, the last one. Great. So that would be the 23rd, that would be our closed meeting, right? Great. Let's celebrate also. I'm so excited. I forget about board. Forget about board, but celebrations would be there.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
In
Christmas
closed,
party.
in closed meetings, I feel more free. But in public, when it's live stream, it's I have lots of limitation in my country. But I like to stop live streaming and public. So yeah, I feel more free. I'm comfortable. I like that.
Yeah. I don't think everything we should share with everyone what's happening. And the people will be curious also what's going on. Sometimes it's good to make people curious, anxious about what's going on in James Green's English classroom.
No, no.
No, that's my idea. What's going on, please?
That's the exact opposite of the reason I would like to do it closed.
I like to make people feel jealous,
I can see that. Yeah, no, the reason that I think it makes sense to do it closed is because it will strengthen our ability to work together, and it makes it easier to determine who I'm speaking now more for classes, but for classes, if we have closed classes, then it means that we take a few steps to find out who is participating in the classes, so maybe, say, okay, we have a group of people who are participating in this class. But that I won't go into that because it's more of a teacher planning matter. But I mean, there's work involved. So if you don't just say, oh, anybody who shows up can come to my class, that means you need to keep track of who's taking your class. and who you want to take your class. So there's kind of step to track your students, but I think it's valuable to do that.
And for the closed classes also, you don't want YouTube, right? Live streaming, you don't want the same way?
That's right.
It's fine. I think that's good. And actually who are interested will come.
You know, it's not so much a judgment on the people who come inconsistently. I believe that broadcasting live classes, open classes are valuable to some extent, but it's more about the kind of class that I want to have. I want to have a class where there is consistent participation and active participation, rather than a TV style class where people are just watching other people. It's just a different kind of class.
Communicative classes. Is it correct? To use this two-side communication happen, not just one speaker and the others just watching.
Yeah.
That's good. I think we will have more students in our class if we stop live streaming. This is my prediction, because lots of people don't attend in classes. They just want to go to YouTube and watch their some minutes. But if there's no live streaming, they will come to the class. Still, it's about the purpose of our group. Is it the purpose is to have lots of people and members in our class, or no, just we want to discuss about a specific topic with less numbers? I don't know what we want exactly. What's the purpose of live streaming? Is it just to give an opportunity to people to watch, or something else? I don't know.
I can see that there would be different purposes, each of which could be acceptable. And I'm not talking about a group-wide policy of all teachers needing to do closed classes. I'm happy for teachers to make that choice for themselves right now. If teachers want to do open classes that are live streamed, I'm not against that. But I'm just thinking for myself, for a certain type of class which has more focus, kind of like classes that I was talking about doing earlier, like my philosophy class, right? That's a kind of class where I want people participating who I know are interested in that topic, rather than having new people each time coming and saying, well, I don't want to talk about philosophy. Well, it makes it easier to control that kind of behavior by saying, okay, so maybe that happens the first week. And then people who say, I'm not interested in doing a philosophy class, simply do not get invited back to next week's philosophy class, rather than having them come and disrupt the work every time. So it's just a strategy for more focus and more, the purpose of that particular class. Like Fatima is saying, what's the purpose of the group? I'm just thinking, I want to think more closely about the purpose of a particular class that I teach.
And then what about the announcement for that particular class?
Well,
we could do that the same way and write closed or not closed. Not by invitation or something like that.
By application, maybe, you say like, by request, participation by request or something like that. It's a little bit of work for the teacher to keep track of that, right? When I was teaching the daily class, I wouldn't do that for all of the number of people who would, that would be just as much time. That would take an hour to do. But for a more focused class and for a limit, you say, well, like people who want to take this class in December, you let me know by December 1st. And then you're not taking in new students constantly, right? You're not saying it's not open enrollment where students can just jump in. I mean, maybe you wanted open enrollment or not, but that's a decision. And the more open you are, the more work you kind of create. So it's up to the teacher. I know I'm teaching a class on Tuesday and I haven't made some of these decisions for the class yet, but I plan to set some of these boundaries up from my weekly class on Tuesdays.
I think members have missed you, so maybe not. You'll do that not for the first class.
That's right. That's right.
So it's already time. And anyone wants to say something, or are you done? James and Nargis, I'm saying, wanted to complete.
Somebody, is it Rosa?
Yes.
Yes, Rosa, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I was listening to James, and I have the idea that everything is changing, because at the beginning when I started in this group, well, I feel free because we have a lot of, I don't know, well, we can participate first without camera, and I feel confident because I can talk and nobody see me. And I feel good, and after the things change and we can talk if we don't turn the camera. And now I feel that everyone will have the opportunity to be in this group. And now that I am here, I don't want to say that it's bad or good. I don't know, maybe it could be good, no? But I have the feeling that you want to have a close group, or I don't know, but it feels different. Well, I think it could be good, and it will be a challenge for everyone to be more confident. It will turn on the camera, or if we talk, not just listening, no? Because sometimes James said, you are listening what you are learning also. So I think it was very different, and now it feels different.
As I say, send me all your money, do what I say, and ask no questions. Just kidding. Just kidding, Rosa. Yeah, it's different. Groups change over time. And yeah. Are you in Discord? Come into Discord and talk about the differences and whether you like them or not.
Okay, I can do it. I know there, but I can do it because it will be a new opportunity for me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So thank you. Thank you, everyone. And
thanks for sharing.
Thank you for
Yes.
sharing, Munmi.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Okay, bye. It's
Bye.
time to
Good
sleep
night.
for me. It's already.
Yes, for me too.